go. But again, thanks for taking the time out of your day to attend our webinar. So this is the only part of the step that'll be a little bit different depending on what user you are. So most people are going to log in our traditional way. So I came to my site, it's martin.bizequity.com. Now, a few users actually have a single sign-on feature. So if you're one of them and you need a refresher on how to actually log in, you can just shoot me an email at support@bizequity.com. But most of you will actually go to your unique white label and log in at what the white label is, .bizequity.com. So when you log in, we're going to come to this screen. So this is where you would start evaluation. You'll see your logo here when you log in. This is the home screen. And let me actually share my screen for you. So this is the home screen right here. So when you log in, so we'll have your name, your company console, your search for prospects, and the success center all going to be right here in the top. So before we actually run the valuation, I want to go over the company console briefly. So I get some questions on this. So any companies that you value on your white label will appear inside of your company console. So one thing to be aware of is if there are multiple users on your white label, so some offices have 4 or 5 users that log in and they send a link to a business owner, it's important that they send their unique smart link. So that's where you would get it right here in your company console. So your name, company console, smart link. And that's how our system will know to attach that valuation that you ran inside of your console. If you just sent somebody to, in my case, martin.bizequity.com, the only people that would be able to see anything in this console are people that we have marked as a manager. So anybody that's using multiple users, make sure if you're sending the link to have the business owner fill the valuation out, you use the smart link. So we're going to go through as if we're a business owner today with the smart link. So I'm going to open up a new tab here. And now when I go to this smart link, my system's going to think that I'm a business owner, that I clicked on the smart link, and I'm going to be the business owner providing the valuation data. Now, the 7-step process is identical for a business owner or a user. So if you're not someone who's utilizing the smart link and you're actually filling out the valuation for your users, you can fill it out on your home screen. But let's say you send a link to a business owner, you want them to actually populate the valuation data. So we're just going to use webinar test for the business name. Use a zip code here in Pennsylvania, 19050, and now the industry. And I get a lot of questions on, what to put in for the industry here. So one of the most common questions is people are putting in SIC codes and the proper industry is not popping up. Now, we are looking for an NAICS code, not an SIC code. So that is, kind of one headache that hopefully you'll avoid if just coming onto this webinar is we're looking for the NICS code. Now, most business owners aren't going to know what their NICS code is, and we don't expect you as a BizEquity user to know every industry's NICS code. So we actually made it a keyword searchable database with over 9,000 industries built in. So we have, I just typed in plumbing, so that's if we were doing a plumbing and heating and air conditioning contractor. Pre-filled code 23822. Now I'll hit continue. If it recognizes a company that you're valuing, it's going to ask you if that's the one you're valuing, so it can pre-fill the address. Now, in this case, I'm not valuing a real company, so I'm going to hit no, different company. That's going to bring us to step 2. And remember, we're going to go through this as if we're a business owner using a smart link. But if you were logged in as yourself, generating the data on your own, it would look exactly the same. So we're looking for the business owner's address and information here. And one thing to be aware of, and this is going to apply to any of our users that are promoting their smart link on LinkedIn or social media, or really trying to collect new leads with it, we can make any of these fields required. So name, email, telephone number. So that way the person can't move forward without at least providing you their name, their email address, and their telephone number. Now, the most important thing on this step is going to be the business structure. So how do they file? How are they filed with the IRS? So let's say in this case, we did an S Corp. They use Form 1120S. Business started in 2005. They have 9 employees, and they're interested in business valuation only. Now, these checkboxes down here do not actually affect the valuation number, but it's just to give you more insight into what the business owner is looking for. So now we'll hit next. We'll go to step 3, and we'll actually start putting in valuation or financial information to value the business. So just like we've always done, we do ask for 3 years of data. We think we're the most accurate if we have all 3 years, and we ask for the projected to be an annualized projection. Some people aren't comfortable doing annualized projections, or if it's this early in the year, they leave 2018 blank. So we can value the business with just 1 year financials. We just think it's more accurate with 3. One of the coolest features in the software is going to happen in a moment. You'll see that valuation number tick up depending on what data is typed in. So it's pretty user-friendly, client-facing. It's very TurboTaxy, so it's something that's kind of a tool that's familiar to people who have done TurboTax or other software like that in the past. Now, the reason we had you select which tax form the business owner uses is we do try to make this data entry process as seamless as possible. So anything that can come off of the corporate tax return, we're going to give you this form icon, and we're going to tell you that exactly which line from that form that you can get the data from. Now, some of it cannot come off a corporate tax return. That you'd have to locate on a profit and loss sheet or a balance sheet. So we do have these question marks next to everything. So we're going to give you the definition of exactly what we're looking for. For this page, everything's going to come off that corporate tax return, making this one of the the more simple pages that we've one of the more simple pages, as long as you have that tax return handy. And 2 features that are available on every single page is going to be a Save for Later button and a Delegate button. These work pretty similarly. So this would be if the business owner was going through the steps, they got halfway done, they realized they couldn't finish right in this sitting. They can actually email themselves a secure link, and what that'll do is allow them to come back into the 7-step process where they left off without losing any data. Delegate button works a little bit differently. It gives them the ability to delegate this as a task to whether it's going to be maybe their CFO. So the business owner, the CEO, they realize the CFO has all the information handy. Maybe there's an internal account that would be better suited filling this out. So they can actually delegate them this link. Both of these links are good for 7 days. The data is not lost if it's not filled out after 7 days. Just an updated link would need to be sent. We'll move here to step 5, the last part of the financial data entry, all around the liabilities. So accounts payable, most of these just by nature are going to come off a balance sheet or a profit and loss sheet. Now we're going to move on to the last 2 steps. So steps 6 and 7 are a little bit different as they're not just raw financial data entry. So we have projected revenue growth. And we get a question a lot based on these next 2 questions. And what they are is, what outlook? So we're really looking for the next 5 years. And since these are both projected figures, we're really, we're not going to weigh that heavily in it, where most of our calculations come from, actual solid financial information. So projected revenue growth, let's say 12%. Long-term EBITDA margin, I'm going to put that at 10. Now I get a question on EBITDA margin maybe once a week, and most of it's that a business owner does not know what their EBITDA margin is. Maybe they think their accountant would. And kind of a good rule of thumb, especially because these are just projections, is it's going to be within 2 or 3% of that projected revenue growth if the business owner is not sure. Percentage of business reoccurring, we did a contractor, so I'm going to put that a little bit higher. Let's go to 80. Do you have any intellectual property, including trade secrets or patents? I would imagine a plumber in the suburbs of Philadelphia does not have IP or trade secrets or patents. But if this answer is a yes, that value is reflected inside of intangible assets. So now we're going to move on to step 7 of 7. So finally, the last page. So what percentage of sales comes from your top 3 customers? If the owner of the business left, how would the profits and revenues be impacted? Let's say this guy, puts in a 14-hour day all the time. So we'll say plummet. We're going to watch that drop. Most of our users that do use this to help them sell insurance like these questions because it helps them transition this from a just data collection conversation into sort of a sales conversation. Does your current life or key person insurance coverage and risk management program cover the business valuation quotation above? Doesn't matter if the business is underinsured; it's not going to actually affect the underlying value. But again, it's arming you as the gatekeeper to this information with more data for the business. So let's say they rent the space they're in. They pay $5,000 in rent, 2,800 square feet. So now, remember, we're logged in as the business owner in this case. So this is going to be the only difference. So if a business owner gets to the end of the 7-step process, they hit save and continue, valuation vanishes, a splash page with your logo right here. It's going to pop up. It's going to say, thank you for using the valuation. and they'll also receive an email. So now what happens is if a new business owner fills out a valuation inside of your console using your SmartLink, as long as they hit save and continue, you're going to receive an email saying there's a new valuation in your console. And that business owner is also going to receive an email basically saying thank you for filling out the valuation. So one thing to be aware of, and then I'm going to open it up to questions because we wanted to get everybody out of here in 15 minutes today, is if a business owner does not get to the end of the 7-step process, so they do not hit save and continue, your console will still have any information they put in. So if you are promoting that sales link, if you are that smart link, if you are sending valuation links out there, it's a good thing to keep an eye on your company console. So remember, you'll log in, you'll click your name, company console, just in case there's somebody who started a valuation and didn't finish it. Might be worth it to reach out to that person, ask why they stopped, maybe see what's going on. And so that is all we were going to talk about today. We're going to do another webinar in a month where we're going to actually talk about using the prospecting tool and then actually, going over the report. But just as a quick review, this is the console. So this is all of the valuation information that was put in, and the business owner cannot see any of this. Only you, as a BizEquity user, have access to the console. So you can kind of control the speed of how you present the information. We do have a client-facing piece, which is the actual valuation report, which you just scroll to the bottom and click Generate New Valuation Report. That's what sort of the end deliverable is, the PDF, but it's basically a review of all the console information, which is we'll cover a review of the console later in mid-July, so you receive an email for that. So now I wanted to open it up to questions, so I'll open up the chat box here. And if there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll get everybody on their way. And I will be sending out a recording of this to all of our users next week. But if you want it sooner than that, just shoot me an email at support@bizequity.com. Okay, so the first question we had was about, actually right on the screen now, is the insurance value report. So it says they don't have access to that. So the insurance value report is an extra fee. Monthly. Not every user has it turned on. So basically what it is, and I'll just give you sort of a quick preview here, is we're using our data services to say a business of this value, so in this case 1.8 million, companies like this typically have the following coverages. So buy, sell, keep person. So any of our users that use this to help upsell insurance, they like this report as third-party validation, and just a way to to leverage our data sources to help them sell additional insurance. So that can be turned on for an initial fee. If you email me at, again, support@bizequity.com, we're more than happy to price that out for you. And any other questions? How many smart links can I send out? Okay, great question. So you can send out as many smart links as you want to. So we have a lot of users that promote them on LinkedIn. They post them on social media. So we don't count a business towards your annual allotment. Most users in here do have a limited amount of valuations they can run until you actually hit Generate New Valuation Report. And that's when the business counts against your sort of cap per se. Reason behind that is if let's say you do get maybe 40 or 50 leads with the smart link, but only 2 or 3 of them are businesses you're actually interested in working with, as long as you don't generate that report, we don't want to penalize you for promoting your smart link. So unlimited use of the smart link, it's a great question. And it looks like that was the last question we had today. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody, and I hope everybody has a great summer. Any questions, feel free. You can always reach out to us at support@bizequity.com, and look forward to a webinar in July with going over the company console and also the search for prospects. Thanks a lot for attending, everybody. Have a great day.